fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, it's another houseplant related video. I know you're probably like, the girl's a crazy plant lady, and that is true. That's a true statement. You are thinking correctly here. But today's video is based off a lot of questions I've been getting, more so in my IG DMs, about best Etsy sellers. And I got it in my beginner friendly plant video too. What are the best Etsy sellers, and are there any tips that I have for online plant buying? If you don't know, I have about, I'm ashamed to say, I got like 30 plants in this house, and I would say about half of them, or even a little bit slightly gearing to more than half, were bought online, mainly through Etsy. You can also get a few plants from Amazon. I do have one Amazon plant, but in today's video I'm going to just kind of walk you through buying plants online, making sure you're making the right and sound decision. I've been burned before, so sharing some of the plants that I've been burned with before, and then at the end I'm going to unbox this latest package that I got from Etsy, just to show you in person what my reaction is. Is it what I expect it to be? It's the first time I think I've bought from this seller too, so it's not like I know they're a great seller. So we're gonna unbox this plant on camera. So I have not opened it, so I'm gonna see on camera today if this is an actually, you know, good vendor, and overall, again, showing you real life experiences of buying plants online. So the first tip I'll give you is don't buy a very common plant online, because it will upcharge you online. So for example, plants like petunias, snake plants, pothos, aloe vera, plants like those are heavily common at a big box store. So at a Lowe's, at a Home Depot, you can get them for very cheap. All my petunias that I've shown in my previous videos, those were all bought at Lowe's. Those are $4.99 at Lowe's. If you buy it online, you're gonna probably buy it for $8.99, $9.99. So it's gonna be a lot more expensive. If you're okay with paying that price, of course, go ahead, by all means. Some plants I would highly suggest, you know, you just buy from a big box store, or you buy from a plant nursery. So I like to really reserve my plant buying for plants that I really cannot find in my plant nurseries, nor can I find at a big box store. My plant nursery does have a little bit more variety, but it does not have it anywhere near the variety that I've seen, you know, plant stores in LA have, and in New York they have very much so, you know, special plants. Here in Charlotte, for some reason, it's still very common, very basic plants. So a thing about buying on Etsy, again, first tip, buy a plant that maybe you can't get from a big box store, you can't get from a nursery. Now, after you decided, hey, I can't find this plant anywhere that I want to, I'm going to have to search it online. When you search on Etsy, and I'm going to speak specifically about Etsy, there are way more, you know, online plant stores. There's a Steve Leaves, there's a Logi's, there's a lot of plant stores online. I've really mainly gotten all my plants from Etsy. They've done me no wrong, or they did me wrong in a couple of cases, but overall I like Etsy just as an overall business. It's easy. PayPal, everything is handled. I like Etsy as my online retailer. So the first thing I do is I go on and I search the plant that I'm looking for, and then I look at the retailer and see how many reviews that retailer has. It might be a little bit biased, but I do tend to only buy from Etsy sellers who do have 100+ reviews. Now, I know sometimes, you know, sellers are they're in their beginning phases, they don't have a lot of customers, so they don't have a lot of reviews. Sorry to those people. For me, in my house, I like to go with people who do have multiple reviews on their channel, just because it makes me feel confident about maybe their selling ability. And I also read the comments too. Just looking at the stars, looking at the preferences can kind of lead you wrong, because Etsy makes you leave a 5-star in order to leave a picture. For me, one example of how, you know, 5 stars can be misleading is that I ordered a monstera on Etsy. It was a beautiful looking monstera. It looked so bushy, so full of life on Etsy. And then I actually got the plant, and this is a picture of it. I'm inserting a picture of it. I uploaded it to the Etsy site, because in order to leave a picture, you have to rate something 5 stars on Etsy, which is the dumbest thing to me in the world. You should be able to rate 1 star and still leave a picture, because you want to help people. But I had to leave 5 stars. I said in my comment, I'm leaving 5 stars because I have to. I need to let you guys know the seller is misleading folk. And then the seller reached out to me. She gave me a partial refund, and then she updated the post to include that this plant is in a smaller crop size, because they had this beautiful 8-inch pot, big monstera, but then they sold me this little baby. So again, that's something you need to be aware of. Some false advertising on Etsy. There are some chances that some people are false advertising a beautiful big bushy plant, and then you get it and it's like, what is this? I have several monsteras in my house, so I know what an adequately sized monstera looks like. I've bought them for cheaper than I bought this Etsy plant online for, and that was why I was so pissed. I was like, I've bought way bigger for way cheaper elsewhere. So again, that's why I put in there, monsteras may not be the best plant to buy on an Etsy, because again, I've been burned before, but there are probably many of sellers on Etsy who sell very good monsteras that actually look very good in person. I ordered a mini monstera. If you can notice, I have a thing and a love for monsteras in my home, and I ordered a mini monstera on Etsy, and this is what came. And this is what it's been looking like for the last, I'd say, 5 months that I had this plant. Now, you might be like, oh, well, it just looks like a regular plant with leaves. This isn't what it's supposed to look like. I then, after I got this monstrosity, bought a mini monstera on Etsy, and this is what a mini monstera looks like. You see the leaves have the kind of holes in the foliage and all that, and it kind of looks like this. Side by side, the exact same plant. Mini monstera. This is from one seller, this is from the other seller. I think they were probably equally priced too. So again, people's crops are way different. I don't know what they thought they were giving me with these 4 leaves. In theory, the thing about Etsy is they didn't lie though. It is a mini monstera. It just hasn't become the mini monstera that this mini monstera has. Some plants are more aged than others. They're more mature than others. No, the plant didn't look like this in the photo. Absolutely didn't. But the way they get away with it is, hey, some crops grow different. Some crops look different. Plants aren't like, you know, you're buying a book on Amazon or you're buying one thing on Amazon. When you order it from Amazon, it's going to look exactly the same. These are plants. These are finicky plants that don't all look the same. So the way they get around it is, hey, some may vary. You might not get exactly what this picture is because we have 40 plants and not all 40 are going to look the same. They're different variations. So again, I like this seller clearly because they clearly defined and it really looked like it. This seller didn't get a good review from me. Another issue that I run into is that, you know, sometimes they send the wrong item, and that's an issue that I've had on Etsy before. I ordered a Calathea orbifolia from Etsy, and then I get sent this in the mail. Now you might not be familiar. This is not at all a Calathea orbifolia. This is a philodendron birkin, and it even had a sticker and a card in here when I got it. I'll probably insert a picture of what it looked like when I got it. It said philodendron birkin on it, so I didn't even know when I opened the box what it was. I knew it wasn't a Calathea orbifolia, but it also had a stick in there that said philodendron birkin, and I immediately contacted the seller as soon as I unboxed it, and I said, pretty plant, but not at all what I ordered. And luckily that seller was very nice. He was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. One of my guys sent the wrong thing, because some of these are big nurseries that are like not small fries. They're big nurseries, so they might have other workers doing things for them, so that when our worker made a mistake, we'll send you the right thing right away and we'll overnight ship it. And it was almost overnight, but then he sent me my Calathea orbifolia, which does have a new leaf coming in, which so proud of this Calathea. It's had some issues, as you've seen, but it is coming through and coming together. But this is of course what a Calathea orbifolia looks like, not what the other thing looks like. So those are kind of the 3 main issues I've had with ordering online on Etsy. Is one, the issue of it not being as pictured whatsoever, whether it be sizing wise, whether it be the leaves just don't look exactly like a mini monstera, and the second issue being the fact that I've been sent the exactly wrong product whatsoever. But again, they've been very much so rectifying. Again, I've gotten refunds for things that did not look exactly the same, or I've gotten partial refunds, because of course I'm gonna love that 4-leaf mini monstera until it actually grows and becomes something. But for now, it's just been looking like this 4-leaf pitiful plant for the last, I'd say, 5 months. So we'll see if the day comes where it looks like its sister, the real mini monstera. But you just have to do your research, really dig into those reviews, really read the reviews, make sure you're buying from the best seller that you possibly can. I will leave down below in the description box, and I will list the names right now on screen of some of the best sellers that I've actually personally bought from. One thing I want you to be aware of though, as I'm filming this, we're in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, so I've checked kind of their inventory. They don't have barely any really, or barely any of the plants that like I've bought and I've loved from them, just because I think a lot of people are thinking the same thing. We're stuck at home, why not buy plants online to kind of bring me a little bit of joy? Because for me, like I talk about, they really do relieve anxiety, especially when you're always around them. You're kind of just looking at them, they bring you joy when you see the new leaves unfurling and all that. So again, I think we're in this pandemic, so people are buying online, so their crops, their sites may not look, you know, pristine, or might not have the best quality or the ones that you're looking looking for right now, but I promise you when we're out of this in a few months, they'll probably have some good crops, some good new plants, some good indoor plants for you guys to check out. So again, I'm leaving them down below so you can just know these are people I've bought, you know, a couple of plants from, and I've actually really enjoyed said plants. Another thing about these plants, they do take some time to ship. Now when you buy it in the spring and summer, I think it's perfectly fine. The weather outside is nice. I bought a lot of these plants, for some of these plants, through the winter, and the thing about that is you do need to add a heat pack to it because these plants are traveling outside in the winter. It makes sense that they would need a heat pack, some kind of heat to keep it going. So again, that's another thing about buying these plants online, is just pick the right season for it. Now is a perfect season to buy plants online because of course it is warming up outside, and the plants don't have to go through as much exhaustion. But I've had one plant take 2 weeks to get to me because I bought it, I think I bought it for my birthday, which is kind of a few weeks before Christmas, so you're in that December month where things are taking forever to ship. So she shipped it on time. For some reason USPS played games and it took 2 weeks to get to me. It was fine when it got to me, but some plants are not going to be fine for 2 weeks traveling. That's another thing about plants and shipping them. USPS is how I've gotten a majority of my plants, and sometimes there are delays. But sometimes there aren't any delays and it takes no time at all. An example, this plant, I think she shipped it on Thursday and it got here on Saturday, so very quick. It's from Florida. A lot of the plant shops that I like are from Florida because of course tropical plants grow amazingly well in a Florida type environment. So I've gotten a lot of plants from Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. There's been a lot of good plants that I've ordered from there. This is kind of how they come packaged. A lot of my plants have come packaged with this live plant sticker on here, handle with love. I don't know if USPS even pays attention to this. They're like, throws plant probably. It's very light. I know what plant it is in here, but I'll open it on camera and show you guys what it is, and I will list the seller's name down below if it actually turns out to be good, and if not, y'all don't need to know who this person is because y'all don't need to buy nothing from them. Okay, so there's a little bit of wrapping paper in here. Also has kind of the seller's information on here. It's my like Etsy receipt on here. It also has care instructions for my plant, the plant that I ordered. It's also taped to the box, which helps it stay in place. Again, with shipping plants, I've seen some people do so many creative things with shipping plants. Feels like it's bare rooted. Sometimes that's another thing about Etsy shops. It probably said it online, I just didn't pay attention. Sometimes it will not come in a nursery pot, so you better be ready to pot that plant real quick. Again, check online when you're buying this thing. Make sure that if it's bare rooted, you're aware of it. Not saying avoid bare rooted plants, but just be aware. And if it is bare rooted, I want to have this box under me so I can make sure that the dirt so this is a plant. It's another Raven ZZ. If you guys don't know, it's a little different than the regular ZZ plant. Regular ZZ plants, of course, more colorful, more vibrant. This is the Raven ZZ, so it's a black plant. I don't know why aesthetically. It's so funny that I love this kind of darker toned ZZ plant, but it's a black plant. So it's sent to me kind of in it. It's not in a nursery pot, so I will have to repot this. And luckily I have a lot of pots laying around. Let me go see right now. I have this nursery pot right here from an old, what did I have, a money tree. I have this old nursery pot, so I'm just gonna pot it in here and repot it in here so it can kind of be in a nice environment. But oh, it's so cute. I'm very happy with it. It doesn't feel exhausted. I have to feel the kind of soil to see if it's already wet because I don't want to overwater it. ZZs don't like being overwatered. They don't really like water as much as other plants do anyways, so that's why I didn't feel any fear. I got it in the mail yesterday, so I let it sit for a day, and some plants I won't let sit in a box, but for the purpose of today's video and filming, I knew a ZZ would be all right in a box because these don't like sun. They don't want no sun. Get me out of the sun. I will grow phenomenally for you in a shaded area. So if you have a low light house, you might be okay with a ZZ Raven. If you enjoyed this plant video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you want more plant related content from me, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you don't, still give it a big thumbs up. Somehow you made it to the end of this video and you didn't enjoy any of it. How is that even possible? If you do like my content and you enjoyed this video, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you won't miss any of the good content that I produce for you here on this channel. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram at LeahLavon89, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.